After 15 years of unwavering loyalty, Ray Dunston is suddenly fired from his position as Barack Obama's chief bodyguard, without explanation. No thanks. No goodbye. Just a cold, clean dismissal that leaves Ray stunned. But the betrayal is just the beginning. As Ray struggles to rebuild his life, strange things begin to happen. Government agents start tailing him. Former colleagues whisper about a secret operation called Phoenix. And Barack's recent, erratic behavior raises chilling questions. Because Barack Obama didn't fire Ray to get rid of him. He fired him to save him. Ray Dunston opened his eyes before the alarm buzzed. 5:30 a.m., just like every day for the last 15 years. His body ran on Barack Obama's schedule, not his own. The face staring back at him from the bathroom mirror looked older than he remembered. Early 40s, silver streaks at the temples, lines deepening around his eyes. Protecting one of the world's most influential men had taken its toll. But something about this morning felt wrong. It wasn't fear exactly. Just a weight in his gut. After 15 years in security, Ray knew better than to ignore instincts. Just nerves, he muttered, splashing cold water on his face. By 6:15 he was in his car, every piece of gear checked, sidearms secured, communication devices tested. The drive to Barack's residence outside D.C. took 23 minutes, like clockwork. Tuesday meant a stop at the Foundation headquarters, then a post-lunch visit to his private AI research facility, then back home for late meetings. Ray knew the schedule better than Barack did. The gates recognized Ray's vehicle. He nodded to the night guards. "Quiet night?" he asked. "Pretty much," said Marcos, the youngest. Boss was up real late though. Lights in his study until around 3 a.m. Ray frowned. Barack running on no sleep usually meant chaos. Inside, Barack sat hunched at the kitchen island, laptop open, half-empty smoothie beside him. He didn't look up when Ray entered. "Morning," Ray offered. "Morning," Barack grunted, not missing a keystroke. This wasn't unusual. Barack could fall deep into a project. But something in his posture seemed closed off, withdrawn. Ray swept the house, running the usual morning security checks. Barack's assistant, Jenna, soon arrived, rattling off the day's calendar. The DARPA call got bumped to 8. Board wants projections by noon. And that Atlantic interview's still on for 2 p.m. Barack just nodded, barely looking up. At 7:30 they were in the car. Ray drove. Barack sat in the back seat, typing furiously. "You okay, sir?" Ray asked, catching Barack's eyes in the rear view. "I'm fine," Barack replied curtly. He looked away. At the Foundation building, Ray moved with practiced invisibility, always present, never intrusive. 15 years at Barack's side had taught him when to be seen and when to disappear. But something was off. Barack kept checking his phone. Twice he asked Ray to step out of meetings, a first. After the DARPA call, Barack disappeared into a private room with Vince Kaplan, the newly hired director of strategic security. Ray waited outside. Vince always gave Ray a cold vibe, like he was sizing him up. When they emerged, Vince gave Ray a look that sent a chill down his spine, a look of pity. Lunch was eaten in the car. Barack took 3 bites of a sandwich, then tossed it aside. At the research lab, Barack snapped back into gear, barking orders, firing off questions at engineers. But Ray stayed on edge. Something didn't feel right. At exactly 3:15 p.m., Ray's phone buzzed with a text from Barack. "My office. 3:30. No explanation. No context. Just a command." The office was small, tucked inside Barack's think tank on the top floor. Ray knocked and entered. Barack sat behind the desk. Vince stood to the side. "Close the door," Barack said without looking up. Ray did. And waited. Finally, Barack spoke. "Ray, I'm letting you go." It hit like a punch to the chest. "What?" "Your position is being terminated. Effective immediately. Vince will take over as chief of security." Ray's mouth went dry. 15 years. "There's a severance," Vince interrupted, sliding a folder across the desk. 6 months' pay. 1 year health care. Ray didn't move. He searched Barack's face for some signal. Anything. All he found was silence. Why? Ray whispered. Barack stood up. We need a different direction in security. It was a lie. A rehearsed one. Ray's voice cracked. I deserve more than that. For a moment, Barack's composure slipped. A flicker of regret. But then it vanished. That's all, Ray. 2 guards entered. Men Ray had trained. They couldn't meet his eyes. Ray turned and walked out. No thank you. No handshake. Just a severance check he didn't take, and a career erased in 3 minutes. Ray sat in his parked car outside Barack Obama's compound, hands still locked on the steering wheel. For the first time in 15 years he had nowhere to be. No one to protect. Just silence. The weight in his chest hadn't lifted. If anything, it had gotten worse. The last time he saw Barack's face, it wasn't the face of the man Ray had once risked his life for. It was the face of a stranger hiding something behind layers of control. Back in his apartment, surrounded by half-packed boxes and the eerie quiet of post-service life, Ray could feel the memories creeping in. Not just of the job but of him, Barack. He stared at an old photo on his nightstand. Barack standing in front of the crowd after his post-presidency initiative's first global summit. Ray was in the background, eyes scanning the horizon, one hand subtly on his concealed firearm. He remembered every detail of that day. Every risk. Every laugh. Every moment. Flashback, 2009, Chicago. You want me to do what? Ray had asked, standing in front of a newly elected Barack Obama, then still in the first year of his presidency. Sleep in your car. Temporarily, Barack replied calmly. We're on a strict budget. And Secret Service has its hands full. Ray had just joined the team, and the world was watching this new leader like a hawk. Every corner, every angle, a potential threat. Ray did it. Slept in a rental parked across the street from Obama's South Side campaign office. Washed up in a gas station restroom. Every night he stayed until Barack left. Every morning he arrived before anyone else. Barack never said thank you. But the night Ray stopped a stalker from breaching the perimeter, a key and a note had appeared on his dashboard. Your rent's covered for a year. We take care of our own. Present day. 3 days after his dismissal, Ray still hadn't heard a word from Barack. No call. No explanation. Then the phone rang. Mir. His daughter. Dad. He closed his eyes. Hey, sweetheart. I saw the news. Timsy. Business Insider. They're saying you were escorted out of Obama's headquarters. That you threatened him? Ray's heart twisted. That's not what happened. Then what did happen? She pressed. You've protected him for years. You missed my high school graduation because he needed you. And now he just tosses you aside like you were nothing? He didn't have an answer. Maybe, Mira said gently, maybe now you can have a life of your own. Ray looked around his sterile apartment. White walls. Sparse furniture. 15 years of sacrifice, and this was the result. Maybe, he whispered, not believing a word of it. That night his phone buzzed. Alert, Barack Obama announces Project Phoenix. A new era begins. Ray stared at the screen. Phoenix. A name he had never heard in 15 years at Obama's side. And it had been announced the day he was fired. Coincidence? No chance. He read the press release. It was vague, high-concept language about advancing human potential and reshaping global security. No details. No clear purpose. And Vince Kaplan, now titled Director of Special Security Operations, was the one who delivered the announcement. Not Barack. Something was wrong. Deeply wrong. The next call came 3 days later. Ray, it's Dominic. Dominic Rodriguez had been Ray's second-in-command for 5 years. Good man. Sharp instincts. I need to talk to you. Something's happening. What kind of something? Kaplan replaced half the team. Brought in outsiders. Military backgrounds, no corporate experience. That's his right. That's not all. They've locked down the east wing of the foundation building. No regular security allowed. And Barack's not sleeping. At all. I've seen this before. It's worse than usual. Ray's pulse quickened. Why are you telling me this? Because something doesn't feel right, and because you're the only one he ever trusted. Calls kept coming. A former assistant. An engineer from Barack's clean tech initiative. Even a board member from his nonprofit. All of them said the same thing. Something is happening. New protocols. Secret meetings. Project Phoenix. Then came the offer. A reporter from Tech Insider. $50,000 for the inside story on Ray's firing. A producer from a streaming platform. We want to do a documentary. The real Barack Obama. You're the only one who truly knew him. Ray declined them all. Despite the betrayal, he wouldn't sell out the man he once protected with his life. He started applying for new jobs. Consulting gigs. One offer came from a Saudi billionaire. Another from a Singapore tech mogul. High pay. Low loyalty. They all felt meaningless. On a Sunday morning jog, Ray noticed something. A black SUV with tinted windows. Parked at his usual turnaround point. Government plates. He picked up speed. Altered his route. The SUV didn't follow. But it was a message. He was being watched. That night the doorbell rang. Ray froze. His instincts kicked in, gun drawn, silent approach to the peephole. Two men in dark suits. Same SUV. Mr. Dunston, one called. We'd like to talk to you. About Barack Obama. They left a card. No names. Just a number. Ray tossed it in the trash. His phone buzzed. Mirror. Dad. Someone showed up at my college asking for your contact info. Said she works for Barack. She left a message. Ray's blood ran cold. What message? She said, the phoenix rises from ashes. But first there must be fire. The message haunted Ray. The phoenix rises from ashes. But first there must be fire. It wasn't just ominous, it was personal. Whoever this woman was, she had gone straight to Mira. To his daughter. Ray had always kept his family life separate even from Barack. Very few people even knew he had a child, let alone where she went to school. And Barack? He certainly didn't know. Unless someone had been digging. And that meant one thing. Ray was no longer being watched. He was being targeted. That night another message came. Text. Unknown number. Mr. Dunston. We need to meet. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. Bryant Street Coffee. Come alone. This is about Barack's safety. Kai Zhang, special assistant to Barack Obama. Ray had never heard that name before. The next day, Bryant Street Coffee, 1:30 p.m. Ray arrived early. Old habits. He sat at the back with a view of all exits. A cup of black coffee sat untouched in front of him. His stomach was too tight to drink. At exactly 2 o'clock, a man entered, young, sharp, confident. Gray suit. Precise movements. He locked eyes with Ray immediately. Kai Zhang, he said, extending his hand. Ray didn't shake it. I don't know you. No. But you know who I work for. Kai sat anyway. Come. Collected. I worked at the Pentagon's Advanced Research Division. 3 weeks ago, I was brought into Project Phoenix. Ray's eyes narrowed. You're telling me I was fired, so you could be brought in? Kai shook his head. No. You were fired because you knew too much. Ray almost laughed. That's ridiculous. Barack trusted me. Exactly, Kai said, lowering his voice. He trusted you too much. You know him better than anyone. His habits. His mind. His fears. You've seen him when no one else has. So that makes me a liability? That makes you dangerous. Kai leaned in. Ray, Project Phoenix is not what Barack is telling the public. It's not even what he's telling most of his team. Ray folded his arms. Then what is it? A technology that could either elevate humanity to the next stage, or destroy it. Ray didn't flinch. He'd heard big talk before. But the way Kai said it, quietly, urgently, made something in Ray's gut twist. We want your help, Kai continued. This. He slid a small flash drive across the table. Contains what we've discovered about Phoenix. And an offer. What kind of offer? Work with us. Triple your old salary. All we need is information. Intel on what Barack is doing, how far he's gone, where the weak points are. Ray stared at him. You want me to spy on Barack Obama? We want to stop something that could go very, very wrong. And you're the only person who knows him well enough to do it. Ray picked up the flash drive. Turned it over in his fingers. If I say no, we'll find someone else. But more people might get hurt in the meantime. Is that a threat? Kai's voice didn't change. That's reality. Project Phoenix is bigger than any man. Even Barack. Ray pocketed the flash drive. I'll think about it. Don't take too long. As Kai left, Ray watched him disappear into the crowd. He felt the weight of the drive in his pocket like it was made of lead. He hadn't even opened it yet. But already, it was pulling him into something he might not be able to escape. That night, Ray stared at the flash drive on his nightstand. Then his phone rang again. It was Teresa Alvarez, Barack's longtime housekeeper. "Mr. Dunston," she whispered. I don't know who else to call." Ray sat upright. "Teresa? What's wrong?" "It's Barack. Something's not right. He's not eating, not sleeping. He's talking to himself. I hear him say things about the end, about how this has to work." Ray's pulse spiked. "Have you told anyone else?" "No. The new security team follows me everywhere. I'm not supposed to use my phone, but I had to call you. Something's very wrong." Ray paused, thinking. "Can you meet me? Somewhere safe. I have 2 hours off tomorrow morning. Grocery run." They agreed on a quiet coffee shop halfway between the compound and the market. Teresa would come alone. Ray would wait. That night, Ray powered up an old, offline laptop and plugged in the flash drive. It contained one file, a document titled, "Project Phoenix, Level 5 Clearance Required." Most of it was redacted. But what wasn't chilled him. Neural interface, brain-to-satellite control systems, direct consciousness mapping, high-level safety risks, brain degradation, psychological collapse, existential cascade events. Level 5 clearance. In Pentagon terms, that meant top secret, need to know only. And Barack had kept this from him. The next morning, 9:30 a.m., coffee shop. Teresa entered looking exhausted. Pale, hollow-eyed. "Thank you for meeting me," she said, taking Ray's hand. I think he's preparing to die." Ray leaned in. "What do you mean?" "I found him recording videos. Messages. For his daughters. Goodbye messages." Ray went cold. "And that lab downstairs," Teresa added, trembling. "It's not just a lab. They built it in secret. Men with no names. Speaking Russian. Security's tighter than I've ever seen. Machines I don't understand. Screens showing brains. A chair with wires. It looks like..." She shook her head, unable to finish. "I think," she whispered, "he's planning to connect himself to something. Something big. Something permanent." Ray stared at her. Then Teresa reached into her purse and pulled out a small plastic card. A security key card. "It unlocks the private elevator. Straight to the basement. I'm not supposed to have it. But someone has to help him. And you're the only one he ever really listened to." Ray took the card. His hands were steady. His heart wasn't. As they left separately, Ray looked back at the shop one last time. A black SUV was parked across the street. Vince Kaplan sat in the driver's seat, watching him. Ray Dunston sat in his car 3 blocks from Barack Obama's mansion, watching the time tick toward 2 a.m. For 15 years, Ray had protected Barack from the world. Now he was breaking into the same compound he helped secure. The irony stung, but the fear stung deeper. Barack was planning something. Project Phoenix. The goodbye messages. The flash drive's warnings. Teresa's trembling voice. And now, the keycard. Ray knew this might be his only chance to learn the truth before it was too late. He checked his gear. Black clothes. Gloves. Small flashlight. Keycard. Sidearm. Last resort. At 2:17 a.m. he moved. Ray approached from the west side of the compound, the part he knew had fewer motion detectors. The perimeter wall was tall, laced with anti-climb sensors. But Ray didn't need to scale it. He walked straight to a solid section of stone wall and knelt. Years ago, he and Barack had installed a failsafe, a hidden biometric panel buried behind the ivy. A just-in-case exit. Ray had long since been removed from the system. But he had a workaround, a small duplicator device he'd once built for redundancy. The scanner beeped. The stone wall slid open silently. Ray stepped into the grounds. Moving like a shadow, Ray navigated around the cameras he himself had once installed. The estate was eerily quiet, except for the subtle hum of electricity, and one faint blue light glowing from a basement window he'd never noticed before. He entered through the service door, the pantry entrance which, as he'd often complained, was never properly linked to the main alarm system. Inside, everything felt wrong. The air was too cold. The silence too loud. He made his way to Barack's private study. The bookshelf. It looked ordinary. Too ordinary. He scanned the shelves and noticed something. An entire row of books, all brand new. No dust. No signs of use. Ray pressed one. The shelf slid open. Behind it, a sleek steel elevator. A single card reader glowing faint green. He pulled out Teresa's keycard. Swiped. The door opened. No buttons. Just a hand scanner. Ray hesitated. Then placed his palm. The scanner turned green. "Welcome, Ray Dunston," said a soft, computerized voice. Ray froze. Why was he still in the system? Had Barack never removed him? The elevator descended. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. 40 seconds. Much deeper than a normal basement. Finally, the doors opened. Ray stepped out, into a world that looked like it belonged to another planet. A vast, sterile laboratory. White floors. Surfaces gleaming under soft blue light. Wall-to-wall screens showing code, satellite images, and brains. At the center, a chair. But not just a chair. It looked like a throne ringed with cables and sensors and a helmet-like device hanging above it like a crown. Ray stepped forward, scanning the room. And then, footsteps. He ducked behind a server rack. A door opened. Barack Obama walked in. Ray almost didn't recognize him. The man looked hollowed out. Thin. Exhausted. Haunted. He moved like he was made of glass. Fragile, rigid, on the verge of breaking. Phone pressed to his ear, Barack spoke. "Yes, it's ready. The system is stable. The countdown has begun. No, I won't delay again. If we miss this window, we wait another 3 months. That's too long. You know what's at stake." He ended the call and sank into a chair beside the equipment, not the throne, and covered his face with his hands. "It will work," Barack whispered. "It has to." Ray wanted to step forward. Confront him. Beg for an explanation. But something stopped him. He saw it now. This wasn't the Barack Obama he'd known. This wasn't a man in control. This was a man being consumed by something he believed in too deeply. Ray slipped back into the elevator. He'd seen enough. Back at home, Ray didn't sleep. He paced. He opened the flash drive again. Then, in desperation, he made a call. To someone who might know what this all meant. Dr. Layla Patel. Once a neuroscientist at Neuralink, she had worked closely with Barack in the early Phoenix development phase, until she vanished. Her voice on the line was cold. Suspicious. "I know who you are," she said. "And I'm not interested." "Then just listen," Ray said. "He's doing it, Layla. He's activating Phoenix. I saw the lab. The chair. The brain scans. There's a countdown. Silence. Then, where are you? 1 hour later, Rosie's Diner, 30 miles north of the city. Layla Patel wore no makeup. No ID. She looked like someone in hiding. And she was. Over 2 cups of coffee, Ray told her everything. She listened without interrupting. When he finished, she said just 4 words. "Then we're out of time." She explained everything. Phoenix had begun as a neural interface, a way to link a human brain directly to satellites and AI systems. A tool for medical breakthroughs, global coordination, and next-gen communication. But then, Barack changed it. Something had triggered him. A year ago, Layla said, his satellites detected something. Artificial. Intelligent. Approaching Earth. He called it a ripple. A bow wave. Like the wake in front of a ship, but in space. Coming fast. And Barack believed it was not natural. Not random. And not safe. He started redesigning Phoenix as a defense mechanism, she said. He believed only his brain, his specific neural patterns, could sync fast enough with the AI to guide it, adapt it, control it. Ray was stunned. And the cost? Catastrophic. If it works, he might survive in some form. But his mind would never be the same. If it fails, he dies. She paused. Her voice dropped lower. He's not just trying to shield the world, Ray. He's uploading himself. Trying to become the intelligence that saves us. Ray sat in silence. Everything, the firing, the secrecy, the surveillance, it all made sense now. Barack hadn't fired Ray to discard him. He fired him because Ray would have tried to stop him. Because Ray would have volunteered in his place. Layla leaned in. "We have to stop it. The system's not ready. It's unstable. He's not just risking himself, he's risking the planet." Ray nodded. "Then we stop him." Ray Dunston left Rosie's Diner with a decision burning in his chest. He had to get back inside the lab. He had to stop Barack before it was too late. According to Layla Patel, the countdown clock meant Phoenix would go live in less than 24 hours. A full-scale neural upload connecting Barack's consciousness to a satellite-based defense system designed to shield Earth from an unknown, possibly alien threat. But the system was unstable. Unfinished. If Phoenix failed, it could kill Barack. If it succeeded, it might kill the man and leave something else behind in his place. Ray couldn't do it alone. He needed help, people he could trust. He called J.Y. Park, a former member of the SpaceX security team who had gone independent after leaving the Foundation. "Ray," J.Y. answered. "Man, I heard what happened. You okay?" I need you, Ray said. Tonight. High risk. Possibly illegal. There was a long pause. What's going on? Ray told him just enough. The secret lab. The neural tech. The threat. Barack's intention to connect himself permanently to Phoenix. Give me the place and time, JY said. But this doesn't feel like a security job. It feels like war. Next, Ray called Sarah Chin, a cybersecurity expert who had helped build several of Obama's private systems. Sarah, I need your help. The kind that doesn't go in a resume. You're in trouble, she replied instantly. I'm in something bigger than that. Give me 10 minutes. And don't say another word on the phone. Midnight strategy meeting, A Park in Northern Virginia. Ray, JY, and Sarah gathered on a bench under cover of trees. No tech except an isolated tablet. Nothing traceable. JY was serious, methodical. Tactical mind already turning. Sarah was skeptical, but once she saw the data from the flash drive, she went pale. You're telling me Barack Obama is going to hook his brain up to a satellite network to block alien radiation waves? Ray nodded grimly. Sarah stared at the files. Well, either he's saving the world, or breaking it. They laid out a plan. Entry time, midnight, just before security lockdown intensified. Entry point, service entrance, low surveillance. Ray knew all the blind spots. Tools. Sarah had retained backdoor access to a few security systems. Enough to briefly loop cameras and unlock a path. Objective, confront Barack. Try to shut down Phoenix. If that failed, at least buy time. Ray, JY said quietly, what if he won't stop? What if he wants this? Ray looked away. Then we do what we have to. 10:30 p.m. Ray's phone buzzed. Unknown caller. He picked up. Ray. Barack's voice. I know you're coming tonight. Ray froze. I've always known when you're near, Barack continued. 15 years does that. You watching me now? No. Just remembering. Pause. Then. You were in the lab last night, weren't you? Ray said nothing. I want you to come back, Barack said. Alone. Ray's stomach turned. Why? Because you need to see what Phoenix really is. I already saw it. No, Barack whispered. You saw a machine. I want you to see the reason. Barack gave him one instruction. Come through the front door. No sneaking. No lies. You and me, Ray. One last time. Ray hung up and turned to JY and Sarah. Change of plan. You're going in alone? JY asked. He invited me. That's a trap, Sarah said flatly. Ray nodded. Probably. But if it's not, I might be the only one who can stop this. Okay, JY said. You go in through the front. We stick to the plan. If we don't hear from you in 2 hours, we breach. Ray agreed. 2 hours. That's all he had. 11:15 p.m., Barack Obama's compound. Ray walked straight up to the front gate. Security raised weapons. Then one guard touched his earpiece and lowered his rifle. Mr. Dunston, he's expecting you. They let him in. Inside, Vince Kaplan was waiting. Expression blank. Posture rigid. This way, he said. He led Ray through the mansion. Past the quiet halls. Past the kitchen. To the study. The bookshelf slid open. The elevator was waiting. Vince didn't say a word. Just pressed the scanner. Welcome, Ray Dunston, the elevator said. Ray stepped in. Doors closed. Down he went. The lab was alive. Dozens of people. Scientists. Analysts. Silent, focused, moving with intent. Barack stood in the center. He looked calm. Not peaceful but resolved. I'm glad you came, he said. Ray stared at him. You're really going to do this? Barack gestured for him to follow. He led Ray into a side room, smaller, quieter. A sphere projection showed Earth, surrounded by glowing satellites. A red wave approached from deep space. This, Barack said, is why. Ray studied the simulation. The wave distorted magnetic fields. Bent radiation. Looked unnatural. If it hits, we lose everything, Barack said. Communications. Infrastructure. Civilization. And this? Ray pointed to the glowing web. The shield, Barack said. Guided by Phoenix. By me. Ray turned to him. It'll kill you. Barack didn't deny it. Why didn't you tell me? Ray asked. Why fire me? Because you would have stopped me, Barack said. Or worse, offered to take my place. Ray said nothing. And I couldn't ask that of you. Suddenly, alarms blared. Security breach. East wing. Armed intruders. Ray's blood went cold. It's not JY, he said. No, Barack agreed. It's them. On the monitors, Kai Zhang appeared, leading a team of tactical agents into the compound. They're going to destroy Phoenix before it activates, Barack said, his face pale. Then we have to move. Will you help me? Barack asked. Ray looked him in the eyes, the same eyes he'd guarded through presidencies, controversies, death threats, and Nobel speeches. He made his choice. Yes. Ray drew his gun. Barack climbed into the chair. Scientists scrambled to finish the final sequence. On the monitors, the intruders were moving fast, breaching the outer halls. We need 5 minutes, the lead scientist called out. Ray positioned himself at the lab entrance. 2 minutes later, the door buckled. Ray fired a warning shot. Stay back. The door burst open. Armed agents flooded in. Guns up. Laser sights trained. Kai. Ray shouted. You don't know what you're stopping. I know enough. Kai yelled. That man is about to inject himself into the global satellite network. He's trying to save us. No. He's trying to become something we can't control. Behind them, the screen flashed. Neuralink, 85%. Ray held his ground. Behind him, Barack's body stiffened in the chair. Eyes closed. Heart rate accelerating. Neuralink, 91%, 94%, 97%. Then silence. And one word on every screen. Online. The lab was bathed in blue light. The screens all read one word. Online. Barack Obama sat motionless in the neural chair, his body trembling slightly under the stress of the full Phoenix interface. His eyes fluttered beneath closed lids. Wires snaked from his skull, pulsing with energy. Around him, chaos unfolded. Government agents poured into the lab. Kai Zhang led them, shouting orders. Step away from the system. Shut it down. Ray Dunston didn't flinch. He stood between them and Barack, weapon lowered but unwavering. You don't understand what you're doing, Ray said. No, you don't, Kai snapped. This isn't a shield, it's a takeover. If Phoenix integrates, it won't just respond to Barack. It will become him. Or something else. One of the scientists called out. Neural sync unstable. His vitals are spiking. A medical alarm blared. Barack's heart rate shot up. His oxygen dropped. Blood trickled from his nose. He's crashing, someone yelled. The system's demanding more neural input than we predicted. Ray turned to the monitors. The shield, the satellite network, was flickering. Patching. Failing. If Phoenix failed now, the global defense system would collapse. There is one way to stabilize it, a technician said. It was designed to allow multiple neural inputs to distribute the load. Ray didn't hesitate. Test me. Kai's voice cut in. Are you insane? 15 years at his side, Ray said. I know how he thinks. Maybe I'm close enough. The scientist hesitated. It could kill you. So could doing nothing. They moved fast. A second neural module was wheeled out. Smaller. Ray sat down. Wires were attached to his scalp. Sensors taped to his chest. He locked eyes with Barack one last time. You shouldn't do this, Kai said. He's not alone in this, Ray replied. He never was. Link initializing. 10%. 35%. 72%. Ray gasped as pain exploded behind his eyes. Then it was gone. Replaced by Barack. But not his voice. Not his body. His consciousness. They were connected. Not through words but thought. Feeling. Memory. Shared instinct. Ray was in Barack's mind, and Barack was in his. The system adapted instantly. The shield stabilized. Together they saw it. The wave. Real. Monstrous. An invisible wall of energy racing toward Earth. Not man-made. Not natural. It's coming. Barack's thoughts rang clear. We have to hold. Just a little longer. From inside Phoenix, Ray could see it all. The orbiting satellites. The calculations. The shifting frequencies. He and Barack were guiding them in tandem, like co-pilots of a machine built to do the impossible. And it worked. The blue shield formed fully. The wave hit. And Earth was spared. But Ray felt something else. The neural strain. The splitting of consciousness. The cost. Ray tried to reach him. But Barack's presence was fading. Fragmenting. What's happening? I knew it might not hold, Barack's thought replied. Phoenix needs a permanent pilot. I'm staying. No. There has to be another way. You came back for me. You always did. But now you have to go back. For the world. The connection trembled. Ray, thank you. The light flooded Ray's mind. Then everything went black. He woke up in a hospital bed. Monitors beeped steadily. Sarah and JY were asleep in chairs beside him. When Ray sat up, a nurse ran out to get the doctors. Later, Kai came in, face pale. Quiet. He stabilized the shield, Kai said. We still don't fully understand it. But the wave passed. Earth's safe. And you, somehow, you survived. Ray didn't speak. Barack's body is alive, Kai continued. But he's not coming back. He's part of the system now. The Phoenix AI responds only to him. Ray closed his eyes. Barack had always wanted to build something that outlasted him. Now he had become it. 1 month later, the world knew the sanitized version. A humanitarian space defense system, spearheaded by Obama, had succeeded in shielding Earth from an unanticipated cosmic threat. No mention of neural links. No mention of sacrifice. Barack Obama was in seclusion, his public appearances suspended indefinitely. Ray stood alone in front of the mansion watching the skies. Final message from Phoenix System, classified feed. A single voice echoed through the encrypted channel. Ray, I'm still here.